Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at something a little bit different, as I've got a multitude of figures to give you a look at in today's review. As you guys will know if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, I recently visited Disneyland Paris, and while I was there, in addition to riding Star Tours and jumping aboard the Star Speeder 1000, I did of course make a stop at the Star Traders boutique and paid a visit to the Droid factory. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Droid Factory is essentially a much larger version of the Build-A-Droid concept that was introduced with the Legacy Collection action figure line back in 2008. Obviously, it proved such a success that Disney Parks decided to take it on board as an attraction, and inside the Star Traders boutique, there is a station in the centre of the store which is filled with trays just full and packed with droid parts, which allow you to build and mix and match all those parts to create your own Astromech droid action figure. So that's what I've done. I've created 5 droids and we're going to take a look at each of those in today's review. And the first one I want to give you a look at is a very cool one, and it's loosely based on a character from the Clone Wars animated series. And it is of course none other than this one. This is R3S6, also known as Golda, or at least a droid that looks like him. And this is a really cool figure. Once again, each of these droid parts are based on Hasbro's Build-A-Droid concept, although I believe Hasbro don't actually manufacture these parts for Disney parks anymore. That's not to say that these aren't in keeping with the 3 3/4 inch action figure line, so each of these figures is sculpted in the movie realistic style and fits in nicely with the rest of the Astromechs that have been released by Hasbro over the years. As you can see, this droid features the iconic and recognisable gold markings of Golda from the Clone Wars. Features the standard 5 points of articulation that we've come to expect with Hasbro's Astromechs over the years. So you've got a swivel at the dome, a swivel at the shoulder, hinge at the ankle, a removable third leg and wheels on the bottom. And each of these Droid Factory droids do feature Disney themed hats. Now, as you can see, this one features Mickey Mouse ears with the Jedi emblem at the front. And there are a number of different hats that you can get for each droid, and I'll give you a look at them throughout this video. So that is the first droid that I built while at Disneyland Paris. The second droid that I built is based on R5K6, who is the droid that was featured in the Scramble on Yavin battle pack back in 2009. Now, for those of you that are familiar with that pack, you'll know that it was ridiculously hard to find at retail, and on the secondary market fetches a real premium. So the only way to really add this droid to your collection at a reasonable price is through the Disneyland Droid Factory. Now, each of these droids retails for €10.99 at Disneyland Paris, which in my opinion is a great price. You know, to add something truly unique to your collection. And considering we pay around £10–11 or euros for a basic action figure in general stores, again, it's a great deal. And these droids are really good quality figures, really nicely painted, really nicely designed, and again, you get these really cool unique hats with each one as well. This one's featured with a Star Wars baseball cap, which can of course be removed to give you a look at a much more screen accurate droid underneath. And this one, as you can see, has a really nice silver, red and black colour scheme, which just looks really cool. Again, the Droid Factory allows you to build droids that match and are colour coordinated, and it also gives you an opportunity to give you a look and to build droids that are a little bit more out there, a little bit more weird and wonderful, as you'll see from the video thumbnail. So that's the red and black R5 unit. The third droid that I built was an R7 unit, and that's this one, the blue and white one. Really cool design once again. This one features a pair of Yoda ears attached to a baseball cap, which were actually made available to visitors at Disneyland Paris. I was encouraged to buy a pair, but declined. And thankfully there are no embarrassing images of me in circulation wearing one of these. But on the droid it looks very cool, again very unique and a little bit weird and wonderful. I really like these R7 units as they're a little bit different to the standard R2s. You've got this much more complicated and unique design on the body. you've got this really out there dome. It kind of reminds me of a Dalek in some ways from Doctor Who. You've got that triangle lens at the top, sort of a ribbed feature around the top of the dome. Just a really unique looking droid. As you can see, this particular droid features white legs in keeping with R2-D2's colour scheme. Blue legs were available for this body and for this dome, but I just decided to add these to it just to create a much more unique look. Once again, same articulation. You've got a swivel at the dome, swivel at the shoulders, hinges at the ankles and wheels on the bottom. And in addition to the third leg, once again, each of these droid parts can be removed, and if you pop off the dome, you actually get a really good look at these circuits and wires underneath, which is really cool. So that's the R7 unit. If you guys have any name suggestions for these droids, feel free to leave a comment down below. And the next droid that I built was an R6 unit, and this is the first time I've actually seen one of these droids as part of the action figure line. From what I gather, R6 units appeared briefly in The Force Awakens as droid navigators for the Resistance X-Wings during the attack on Starkiller Base. Whether or not this particular droid featured in the movie is anyone's guess. I don't remember seeing it, but as you can see, this one features a red and black and white colour scheme. Very cool indeed. And the droid is almost a hybrid of the R5 shaped dome with R2 features. As you can see, this one is sporting an Imperial officer's cap and features once again all the same articulation that the other droids feature, and the parts can be interchanged once again. It was a little bit difficult to match the dome up with a body with this droid. Obviously the black and red really stands out, and in some ways it's a nice match to the R5K6 like droid, but I already had this one built up. I didn't really want to duplicate any of the parts, so I just went with a much more generic red and white R2 body, and I think it looks pretty cool. Once again, the caps can be removed. I've got this really nice colour scheme to the dome, which I absolutely love. So that's the R6 unit that I put together at the droid factory. And the final droid that I built was this one, just a standard R2 unit that features yellow markings and a white dome, which is rather uncommon with Astromech droids. It's not something that we see typically in terms of a colour scheme. Astromech domes are usually silver or an alternate colour, never usually white, but this one really looks nice. Helps those yellow markings to stand out. And you've got silver highlights on the rest of the panels on the body as well, which again create a really cool, nice and clean look for this particular droid. Really nice indeed. And as you can see, this one is wearing a goofy hat and ears. So as I said, all of these parts can be interchanged. You can pop off the dome and swap those out with another droid. You can pop off the legs and interchange those as well. And you can just get some really weird and wonderful combinations out of all these droids. And I will be returning to Disneyland Paris in October 2018 in time for Halloween. And I'll be sure to build some more droids while I'm there and give you a look at those later on down the line. So I hope you've enjoyed having a look at all these droids. One really cool thing about these as well is the fact that once you've built your droid, you've completed it and you're ready to pay for it at the checkout, you actually can package it up on its own unique card, which is really cool. As you can see, these cards are unique to the droid factory. You've got these Disney droid schematics rather on the card back itself. You've got the droid factory name at the top with a blank name tab just below that. Disney parks do offer sticker sheets where you can name your own droids, but unfortunately there were none available at Disneyland Paris upon my visit. And you've also got the Disney Parks logo in the top corner and a description of the droid factory on the back. These are sort of clamshell designs, so they open up like so, and that basically allows you to place your droid inside the bubble on the card, seal it back up, and as they say in France, voila, your own unique droid. So a really cool concept, something that I've been wanting to do for a number of years, and it's safe to say I took advantage of the Droid Factory at Disneyland Paris. I built 5 droids, very cool indeed. I can't wait to build even more. So if you've enjoyed having a look at these figures, I'll be back with some more reviews later on down the line. Again, if you have any name suggestions for any of these droids, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you again soon for another review. So until then, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.